Oy'Nissh, millennial Jamaican name, food, and language. Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to another Oy'Nissh vlog. Today I am in Penicuik, along the path that leads to Dalkeith, and behind me is the North Esk River. So this is the North Esk River flowing from this direction over here and going straight along this path. It's a cycle path from Penicuik to Dalkeith. But also when you reach Dalkeith, you can continue from other parts in Dalkeith all the way to Penicuik land. The significance of this vlog is about me taking this walk for one purpose: to create a new genre of Jamaican music. Yes, you heard me right. I am about to create a new genre of Jamaican music by God's grace, using the newly constructed Oy'Nissh language that evolved from the food system. Now, obviously, this starts probably the beginning of the journey for me. I need to check the time to see what, for historic reason, I'm vlogging and I'm mentioning the time, so in the future people can use this as the primary source for which this new genre of Jamaican music started, at least its development. Now, this music comes from a poem system that evolved from the language. Yes, and it's from this poem system that the music will be created, but it's different from what you've heard in Jamaica before. So it is called Vétémete. The poem is called Vétémete, and thus the genre of music that evolved from it, at least the first aspect of music that developed from this poetry form, is also called Vétémete. So Vétémete pretty much is a poetry form using the Veeliksa system that have been created for use in this language development. Now, I'm going by faith here, because although I've started using the word Vétémete some time ago, today officially marks the time when I'm going to work on developing a music system out of it using the poetry. What I need to inform you though, what it's not, and today, let me quote the date. So today is Friday the 24th of February 2023, and it's now 11:19. Well, I started talking about 11:15, so let's call it 11:15. Yes, and I am here in Dalkeith along the cycle path. Not Dalkeith, I'm in Penicuik along the cycle path that leads straight to Dalkeith. On this side of on both sides of this path is the North Esk River. And on this day, this Friday, the 24th of February 2023, launched the development of what's known as Vétémete. It's a new genre of Jamaican music that evolved directly from the poetry, which evolved from the language itself, using character. And because the language evolved from the food, it means that this genre of music will be influenced by how the food develops. So, oh, here's a cyclist coming. Let me give way so as not to obstruct the path. So what Vétémete is not, it's not reggae. It have nothing to do with reggae, nor reggae history, nor reggae influence, or anything to do with reggae. Obviously I'm Jamaican and I'm not being disrespectful to my culture, but just to make sure, at least for non-Jamaicans, when this genre of music, oh, I'm not blocking anyone, I'm not in the road. When this music genre start to develop, you cannot associate it with reggae. Also, it's not associated with dancehall, nor ska, nor anything that have gone on before. This is original work because it evolved from a language that's not in Jamaican consciousness ever. And I'm saying this humbly because it's important when you state stuff for historical reasons, that when people, no one is coming, when people talk about stuff, they can quote it from historical evidence, and you're looking at this development today from the person who is saying it. So it means that in the future someone shouldn't say, oh, because this is what regular dancehall or ska is, it means that Vétémete is. No, this genre evolved directly from the food that doesn't exist in Jamaican consciousness, from a language that comes from the food that doesn't exist in Jamaican consciousness. It's 100% its own system. Please bear that in mind. So it means that for Jamaicans and for people who listen to reggae music and other form of Jamaican music, you cannot draw any association. The only association with Jamaica is that I am Jamaican. Secondly, because I'm a Christian, this is probably the first, I don't know, it might not be the first, but it is a Jamaican genre of music based from a Christian experience. So it's a Christian person telling his experience of how the Lord have blessed him with the ability to create this language from a food that the Lord have inspired him to develop, that have to do with the promotion of seasonal fruit and vegetables here in Scotland, UK. So the music evolved from the food, evolved from the ethos around fruit and vegetable consumption, around seasonality. That means it's not so much about the African beat, the African drum pace. It's not about the Jamaican beat or the Afro-American beat. No, it's about the food, the theme that evolved from the food, and the art that influenced the theme, but also the linguistics of the language. When that comes into play now, it makes this genre of music its own unique space of development. And please, it's important that if you're not from a Jamaican culture and you hear about this new genre of music, it's not associated with anything that have gone on before, because as I said, as I stand before you on Friday the 24th of February 2023 here in Penicuik, along the path that leads to Dalkeith, on the bridge under that the North Esk River run under, this starts the commencement of the development of this genre of music, Vétémete, and it's its own system. So please do not confuse it. It's a Christian giving his perspective. In the past, Bob Marley, being Rastafarian, was able to influence reggae being Rastafarian. Now I'm talking from a Christian point of view. Now obviously I'm not trying to Christianize people per se, because non-Christian will be listening to this, but I'm giving you my experience that you don't see it from that perspective, but from the perspective of fruit and vegetable consumption, healthy living, seasonal living, but also along this path starts the journey, and who knows where God leads. So I'm depending on God now to inspire me as I go along this journey, how to start it. So I'm not the only one walking along this path. It's a great place for all sorts, walking and cycling. So it's a long path for me to contemplate how God is going to help me now to develop this genre of music, probably to create officially the first publication. I've done a publication before, but that was in March 2021 that uses the Veeliksa. That was in its infancy. I haven't even started creating grammatical structure for the language or how the Veeliksa combine with each other or anything. But having nearly 2 years worth of experience developing this language now, I'm more comfortable and creating my first publication, and it will be in the form of a poetry, which will be a song, which is the launch of Vétémete. So please bear witness. Hello. Please bear witness to this day. And I can't stress how important it is for historical reason that you do not get it wrong. This genre of music, it has not evolved from reggae or ska or anything that have gone on before. It evolved from the language, Oy'Nissh language, that evolved from the food that have to do with seasonal fruit and vegetable health promotion here in Scotland. And of such, it have its own ethos, and it takes its influence not so much from the beat, maybe African beat. Obviously I'm black, I'm of African descent, obviously with a bit of Englishness in me, maybe because of how the Jamaican slave trade panned out and all that gone with it, you know. So we all have some form of mixed blood in us, it doesn't matter. But obviously I'm of African descent, so no disrespect to my African brethren. All I'm saying, especially if you're from Africa, if you're of Afro-American descent, if you're from the Caribbean, obviously Jamaica, and any black people in Britain and other parts of the world, Vétémete, it's its own unique genre of music that evolved directly from the language. Please bear that in mind. So it means that when you talk about it, use this as the point of reference. On this day, the 24th of February 2023, it's a Friday morning, started vlogging higher at 11:15, and this should use as historical evidence, because now I'm going down this trail as far as it takes me for now God to inspire me how He's going to lead me now to develop this genre of music to bless people. And I'm not going to say my objective is now to Christianize and brainwash people. No, I'm a Christian. I'm not even perfect. I'm growing in grace every day. But I'm just sharing my experience having worked with seasonal fruit and vegetables, having created new menus, and out of it evolved the classification system. With the classification system come the language, and in 2021 the official writing system called Veeliksa. That changed everything, and from this new language, Vétémete, a poetry which gives rise to a new music genre. This, I believe, will help me now to start develop grammatical structure, develop other stuff. It's also for me, it's not only for you, but it's for me now to make known to you how the language works in character, how it conjugates in terms of nouns and verbs and prepositions and all this stuff. So I need it in written form, and then from there I can start teaching to see how to let you understand how it works. So please bear with me, but remember, this day starts the development of Vétémete, a new genre of Jamaican music, starting from the poetry called Vétémete. It's 100% its own language and have nothing to do with what has gone before in Jamaica. Heavenly Father, I come before your presence. It's strange that I'm, all the way here in Scotland, in Midlothian, Penicuik, on my way to Dalkeith along the cycle path. And today I'll be planning to, by inspiration and by your direction, to create this new genre of music. Officially something that have a primary source. People can trace back the date, how it developed, the experience of the person. Imperfect though it may be, but you're using perfect people to do perfect stuff. So I present myself before you, the humble servant, asking for your divine guidance. I have no idea how you lead me, but today is an historic day, the 24th of February 2023, Friday, starting 11:15 vlogging, the development of Vétémete, the genre, new Jamaican genre of music that comes from the poem itself, that evolved from Oy'Nissh language. So, Lord, I'm depending on you to guide me, but I just thank you for giving me this opportunity to be a part of history. I never envisioned that by trying to promote fruit and vegetable consumption seasonally here in Scotland, a language would have evolved, and now on the path to developing a music system. So please guide me, please teach me, and hopefully that it may bring peace and hope to my soul, but to the world all over. Guide me and keep me. In your name I pray, amen. So now we step down into history, the history of the development of Vétémete, poem or poetry form, but the genre of music too, bearing the name. So let's step down into a new world. Okay. North Esk River. So I'm about to start walking along the trail to Dalkeith. Now, for conserving battery, I might not be able to do the 1.5 to 2 hour walk recording. I'll try to record as much so you can get an historical sense of the journey. Chances are along the journey I'll be detouring nearing the riverbank, woodland, to see if I can see any wild garlic, wild leek, ground elder and nettle, and see where they are in terms of coming into season. We know it will probably, it's March and so forth that we'll be getting those stuff. April maybe for nettle, but at least to see where if they've got these stuff in this region and how far they are. So I'll detour a bit, but what it means is I'll have to miss some of the path in terms of recording because the battery power isn't that long. Because this is a part of the journey. Foraging is part of the journey to get an idea of how this genre of music is going to develop. It's important that I understand my journey, the journey that God has led me along to Dalkeith, how I interpret it through experience as I go along, the smell, the temperature, people passing by, the birds chirping, things like that. All that should give context to the development and how it influences the language and the food development.
Yeah.
Hello. I think I see wild leek or wild garlic. Let me go check. It's strange because it's just at the beginning of the journey. The beginning of the Vétémete journey. And I'm going to just check if I see any. Let me just take a little of this bit. So you see. That looks like wild leek up there. So it's still a part of the trail. It's just that at the side bit. So don't worry. I'm not detouring. Obviously I won't continue up this way, but I just needed to see this patch. As you can see, we've got wild leek here. So spot on. Just look. Wild leek. Let me move the... Yeah, can you see? Hopefully you can see. Yeah, wild leek. Okay. Wild leek. Wild leek. Yes, so there is wild leek. Hello, ladies. Do you actually use the wild leek to do anything?
Yeah, you can cook with that.
Yeah, I use it to make bread and soup and stir fried.
Oh, nice.
So if you're vegan or stuff, so you can, instead of spinach, and because it's a lot more turgid than spinach, you can chop it up and stir fry it with vegan sausage. So instead of chopping up onion plus garlic, especially with things that are short in the supermarket, you know, they're economizing now, all you need is the wild leek or the wild garlic. So just chop up a wild garlic, stir fry it a little bit, and you add in your vegan sausage, or if it's just normal sausage, oil and whatever.
I would go to like Roslyn if I were you. Like the place is covered in it, and you can.
Roslyn. So it's along the path, yes?
It's far.
Going that way.
Yeah, very far.
I'm heading to Dalkeith, that's why.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
yeah.
I am Oy'Nissh, I'm on YouTube.
Alright, cool.
So I always go to different places where I do foraging, but I do commentary to let people know what's in season. Well, these are not in season yet. We know it's probably later on. I'm on YouTube as Oy'Nissh, Oy'Nissh. You can check out some of the videos and some of the bread that I make using wild leek, so forth. Oy'Nissh, O-Y.
Stay? Yeah, like you can go along to Roslyn and like you'll find patches.
Oh yes, I know Roslyn, that's on the way to Penicuik.
Yeah, yeah, and
I'll do
it
that
won't
bit.
like all these bits, like it'll probably have been feed on by.
No. I always recommend not the one along the path, but further in.
Yeah, totally.
So it's Oy'Nissh.
Nissh.
Yes. It comes up?
I've not got internet right now. Oh, sorry.
Yes, the reception. OY. Yeah, that's it. Oy'Nissh. Yes.
Perfect.
So during the process, so as it is, today I'm on a different journey. So I'm still doing about food. I started a food brand called Oy'Nissh. It's about promoting seasonal fruit and veg. Obviously these aren't in season yet, but out of it comes this classification system. How when you put fruit and veg on different type of beans and legumes and fish and so forth, it gives it different names. That's just my way of making up stuff. So I create new words, and out of it comes a language. But the language uses a character system called Veeliksa. In 2021, I was able to design a character system for the language. You'll see bits of it on YouTube, and you'll get linked to my website, which is just oy'nissh.com. Now, today's journey is significant because it's historic, because out of this language, I'm trying now to plan and do grammatical teaching and how it works and the character, but I need to create a first publication. So I'm planning to create a song, but it have to come up with a new genre from this music. And it's called Vétémete. It comes from a poem called Vétémete. It's a way of writing the character as it links with the food and with season and the themes. So it's not so much the beat that influenced the film, the music, it's the theme and the colors. And out of it, so today launch me trying to develop this genre of music. So I need a long walk to contemplate and take it in.
Yeah,
So hopefully, when I put it on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But check it out.
Yeah,
But you said Roslyn, which is that way coming to Penicuik. So in the future, I'll check there.
yeah, it's
anywhere?
covered and stuff, like it's like a really good forest for foraging.
So what you recommend there? Wild leek, yes?
Yeah.
And what about wild garlic?
Yeah, there's this is about the season for chicken of the woods when I found it up in Roslyn as well. The mushroom.
Mushroom?
Yeah.
Oh,
Covered
no,
in it.
you see my disadvantage, I'm from a country where we're skeptical about mushrooms.
Alright. Or are you not able
Yes.
to grow them? then?
Yeah, and maybe I'm from Jamaica. Jamaicans are not big on mushrooms. We see mushroom, we see danger because maybe because it's not such a popular thing. We've got woodlands, but not like here. So they are there, but many of them are poisonous. Most of them are poisonous. So chances are maybe if people grow them. But I don't know much about mushroom. But do you have wild garlic there too?
It's
Covered in wild
like,
garlic?
Literally, like you'll be on a path that's just covered in wild garlic for ages.
So I check Roslyn.
Rosin's like really, really good.
And what ground elder I can see. Do you use ground elder too? Ground elder is also good for salads. But now it's best. Or going into March. Because the shiny leaves, the
Is
top
that the one that
leaves,
tastes like apples? Or
almost.
it's like a really sweety kind of.
Sweet, yes, almost a woody taste. But the shiny part, tip part is the part that's best. And now it's early and tender. It's nice because by late April, May they get hard and turgid, which isn't good. But also nettle.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so But as I said, for more information, go on YouTube and there's link to my website, or you can just do oy'Nissh.com and you'll see the language and how it's written, how the characters start to form in terms of some of the translation. Vétémete.
Vétémete.
Yeah, so it's a poetry.
Is it vegan? Sorry. or is
No,
it-
no, it's not food.
Oh.
Well, it's the name of the poetry.
Yeah.
And it will become the name of the genre of music. It's supposed to be fun because I do health promotion for a living, a fruit and veg.
Yeah, nice.
So I want it to be fun in the future. So I had to create new ways of making it fun. Its own space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing as well. It's like with this whole crisis, where people feel like, oh, we're not going to be able to get certain things like
Let me
fruit,
open this
and
one.
vegetables and stuff from Spain. Oh, sorry, Marla.
After you, Your Grace.
Oh, honey, come on.
It's, basically, we should be doing what you're doing in foraging and like getting things from like. Our
Well, the reality is, I normally just forage alone. I don't, you see, there's seldomly like foraging groups where people said, let's team up and go foraging. So I normally do it alone. It's a rare thing where people go foraging.
I've seen people like get things like this one guy was like getting these little red berries from a bush.
Yes.
And all my life I never knew that they were edible. He was like, yeah, you just cook them and they're like very good, like vitamin C and everything. Really high in it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
There
Yeah.
was a bear in this
What is it called?
rose hip.
Rose hip. Oh, someone also introduced me an orange one that comes out in autumn, maybe in October, November, along the sea coast. Thornberry or Tarburn or some. Oh, I can't remember. Auburn.
Autumn, sorry.
Autumn, yes.
You were right, right?
Yes, so I'm
It's
learning.
really good.
Eh?
Your English is really good.
Oh, well, I'm from Jamaica, so you know, we sort of inherit the language, but also a bit of Scots. Hello, hi. A bit of Scots. I think intertwined with the Jamaican dialect.
All right, yeah.
Is a bit of Scots, majority African, but a bit of Scots. Maybe because you used to have Scots in Jamaica, so depending on where the Scots were in Jamaica, they sort of inherit the accent. People live in that area inherit the accent a bit.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've watched some like people from Jamaica on YouTube, and like sometimes I do find it quite quite hard to understand them, but like in general,
Okay.
we are able to like
Get the
understand
gist of what they're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah, man. But this place is so lovely. It's, you guys are just so blessed. You've got all this just in your backyard.
Yeah, we are blessed. Scotland's lovely.
Oh, well, I've got Craigmillar Castle in my back. I've got a castle, so.
Oh wow.
Are you from Edinburgh then, staying in it?
I stay in Edinburgh, yes. And I'm not far from Craigmillar Castle. Yeah. There, that's not known for vegetable foraging, but berries.
Yeah.
Oh my word! Once summer starts, happy.
I know a place to get blackcurrant.
Well, gentle folks, I'm sure I'll run into you. Check the YouTube. You can subscribe so I can be in touch. Also check my website. So as I said, this is a new journey. I don't even know what I'm doing. I depend on God to guide me because this is new. But at least I discover. Didn't I see wild garlic just now?
Yeah, back there, man.
Ladies, I'm going to go check because I need to record this. Chillio. Yeah, so there you go. Got talking to some of the Scots. Oh, here's a path I can walk here. I'm sure I saw wild garlic, so I'm just going to confirm that's the case. So I've shown you wild leek, and as the two, oh, I forgot to get their names. Forgot to get their names. The reality is, as they rightly said, those along the path it's not recommended to forage for, be it wild garlic or wild leek, so it's best to get it off the beaten path. So an area like this would be ideal. So if this area was covered in wild garlic or leek or ground elder or nettle, this is good because even if people come and if people walk here with the dog and so forth, it's less likely that they do their business everywhere, but you've got more space to work with. But they seldomly just ventured off into this path. They just keep on the straight and narrow, and this gives a space for stuff to grow. Obviously it will be dirty because the rain and the soil beating on it and all sort of stuff, but as always, as I recommend always, and you know, even with stuff in the supermarket, you always wash your vegetables and your fruits. It's just natural. Now here we are at the beginning of the journey, and here we've got wild garlic. Here we've got wild